He might stop now. Normally when he breathes really heavy in, he won't snore as bad. It was so bad. Gene. I wanted to grab this, and I want to make sure that you know that there's 2 in here. So when you spend $135 right now, you're still going to get this as your gift. I just got a new one so we could open it together. So it opens. This is fun. But it's called The Setting Buff. The Setting Puff. I'm too excited. But look, 2 come in the package. So I just want to make sure that y'all knew that. Some of you didn't. But of course, there's 2. 2 little puffs. But yeah, just want to let you know. Shop the sale, and when you spend $135, you get the puff. The puffs. So y'all want to see a look with this color. It is Feral Monday. Now, we do have another nature walk planned today. I'm telling you, if there's nature, Rose and Ben, I'm going to be walking it. You want to find Rose and Ben? Go to nature. So I'm not going to do just a crazy extensive wild situation, but I am going to do something very spicy, very Feral Monday. Most of us wouldn't. Maybe most of us would. I don't want to assume anything. But this might not be a color that we normally gravitate to. But with some warm neutrals, it's actually going to be really easy to wear. Let's get started. I'm going to start with clean canvas today. I really want to make sure that I'm setting just a completely even base. I just want it to not have any color to it. I want to change the undertone, and I want something a little bit tacky. And whenever I want something that's just going to create a clean canvas, I reach for this. I don't want to have any of the veins visible. Not that I dislike them. They're there. I'm human. It's fun. I've actually been doing a lot of eyeshadow looks where we don't cover them. But for right now, I want this look to be very intense. So by just laying down this kind of base, it's just going to be, basically we're starting from scratch. And my undertone's not going to peek through. My skin tone's not going to peek through. We're just starting over in a sense. Let's grab our palette and let's go ahead and start with this color. I'm gonna grab 1, 2. Keep in mind with these Melt Cosmetics palettes, they are very pigmented. So I'm gonna take that. I picked up a very small amount, but look at this. It's just gonna keep going and going and going. And it's nice to have a transition color that's going to be pretty close. And I like how they put it across from there. It's pretty self-explanatory. But when you're wanting to do a spicy look, 2 more taps, but I want a little bit more precision. So I'm gonna push it in here. I was saying, when you're wanting to do a little bit more of a spicy look, but you're still a little intimidated, it's nice to kind of match that transition, this crease color, to the lid color. Okay, now I'm gonna wipe this on Sheila. Sheila's right next to me, wipe that off. So there's hardly any product now, and I'm just gonna take this and start to tap to transition it towards the brow, just using the side. I went ahead and added just a little bit more of that same shadow to the socket just to deepen it up, and then we're gonna continue to transition. And I'm not pressing on the crease. If you wanna relax your eye, it's gonna be even easier. I'm just pressing above the crease, and I'm using the side of the brush. I'm not using the tip of it, I'm just using that side. And what this is gonna do, it's gonna transition, and it's gonna set the rest of that base from here to here. So now let's add a little bit more of the base. I want it to be really nice and tacky, but I need to show you that adding too much might just make everything too wet. So let me get in close here so you can see that I'm just gonna really smooth this out. I don't want it to be thick on the lid, but I definitely want it to have some grip because it's gonna make that shimmer pop. But then too much might just make your shimmer turn into a gloopy mess. So that's something I needed to share with y'all. I wish you could touch it to see how it feels. It's got some grab, but it's not wet. And that's what shimmer's like. They don't like it to be, well, dadgum, let me show you. I'm just gonna show you on my hand. So here's some base, okay? It looks pretty thin, right? Okay, I'm just gonna use what's left over here, and then I'm gonna really even that out, okay? It's going to be a pretty dramatic. I still want to make it a little fair, but I do want to give you kind of a dramatic. I know that we're not just going to apply a big glob, but you'll see it's really thin on the hand. But okay, so here we have the shimmer we're going to use, and then it just kind of, I mean, there you go. That's a really good visual. And we can even tap it, and then even if we tap, it's going to keep on. It's not really working. I'm going to add some more. Again, this is just being very, very wild with it, okay? And then we'll put some there. There's a good example. See how it's just not doing its best? But if the base is just the right amount of tacky, I'm gonna grab that, and then we're gonna just kind of pull it across. See that? There you go. I mean, that was a perfect visual. Perfect, perfect. So we're gonna grab the C30, and the C30 is so great for any kind of precision, whether it be concealer, contour, any kind of precision. Right now we're gonna have a little bit more, we're gonna need more precision. Why don't we go around the eye area? So it's actually amazing with shimmer shadows. So what are we gonna do? I mean, look at this. It's basically my fingertip, but better, because my nails are so dadgum long. I'm gonna keep building this up. Do you see how it's placing all of that shadow, but then you're able to smooth it? This brush is so slept on. And pick up some more. It just really grabs shimmer so nicely. Pretty color. Now let's try this satiny black. We're still gonna do a look with just this. Don't worry. So let's grab this shade. We're gonna switch to an E27 because I want to just kind of focus it out here, and you'll see how that brush just fits so nicely there. We can even look back to really kind of lean your head back. Just kind of make sure you can see what you're doing. It's a lot easier that way. I feel like whenever I first started, I didn't realize that just slightly turning my head, maybe looking down, maybe even turning to the side, I could see what I was doing so much easier. Ooh, that's so pretty. Jean snoring again. Fun. Now let's grab this shade, and I'm just gonna set my brow bone. Bring it over this way. Bring it back over this way. Ooh, that's nice and smooth. Pretty. So I want my lash line to be really, really, really dark, but I don't want to do a wing. So we're just gonna take this, go across, and then I'm just gonna leave this running. I'm gonna grab that same shade on the E27, and I'm just gonna take that and go on top so it's nice and dark. See how that's darker than that? I don't want that as dark, that's okay, but this is a really good way to get a really nice, dark, smoky lash line. Just tap it in there. And then sometimes base can get into your lashes, so what I'll do is right on this brush, I picked up a little bit more of that black, and the bristles are so soft, I promise they're just so soft, like little jean fur. Cruelty free, of course, they're not made of jean. But they're so soft that they're not gonna irritate your eye. So you can just kind of push it in there to make sure you cover up any base. Now it wouldn't be Spicy Monday if we didn't get something spicy. Look how fun. We used this one the other day, and I wanted to use this one. I feel like it's perfect with the look. I'm so excited. These are from JD Glow Cosmetics, and I like the little brush that comes with it. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of placing this right out of the fold of my eye. That way the light will catch it. I'm trying to see where else I want to place it. This is so much fun. Let's go ahead and just do it here. It's kind of a what am I seeing situation. Pretty. Ooh, fun. Now I know I said I wasn't gonna do a wing, but that duochrome. Just wait till y'all see this in different lighting. I'll post that once I'm done here. I'm telling y'all, the duochrome gets me, and then I just start drawing all over my eye. But it's Feral Monday, okay? That's my excuse. I'm out of control. So I found this liner. This is gonna go on our waterline, and it's gonna match. And then I wanna find a blush that'll match. And then I wanna do a dark lip. And I kinda want everything to match. So then I went ahead and I just kinda connected this to here. That's fun. I didn't connect it all the way though, just a little bit. And then I was cleaning this up. This is the same brush that we used for our lid. I just wiped it off on my makeup towel. Not even microfiber, the brushes just don't absorb. And then that's micellar water on there, and I'm just cleaning that up. Tap, 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 tap. Tapping it to dry it. So I actually loved this foundation. It wore beautifully. This is the Rituel de Fille. And the shade that I have is 125, but it's just a hair too light for me. Make sure you shake it up really nicely. It does say 3 drops, but I do about 5. I want a little bit more coverage with this look. And then the bronzer is quite red, so it's gonna help with my undertone. I think I forgot to put a little bit over here. Hang on. We'll do that in a second. So I'm just smoothing this out first. And I talked about the drops, how I love them because they're so thin. I'm just adding a little bit of bronzer over here. There we go. There was still enough on there. But they're just so thin and they're so nice. So I'm just making sure it's nice and smooth across my skin. Okay. Let's grab our C42. So I'm getting tan pretty quickly, even though I'm wearing SPF. It's just gonna happen. I'm gonna get more tan during the summertime. So I'm actually gonna start, I haven't used this in a while, but I love this. Look how much I loved it. Look at that crater in the middle. So this one's from Nars. The shade that I use is 03. There are different shades of it. So we're gonna put that on our C40. And the reason that I'm gonna do this first is because I love this one underneath foundation to kind of darken it. I'm still gonna place it in the exact same places that I would my bronzer, which it is bronzer. And that's really still what we're doing, but I'm kind of using it to kind of shift my lighter foundations a little bit darker. I'm gonna go heavier here. Summertime creeps up on Rose. I've actually shown this technique before, and some of you probably already do it, but I'm just here to help give you some ideas. Now, y'all see me do this technique, but we always have new friends joining the makeup party here. So we're gonna go around it first. Apparently Ben is just in there ruckusing. And then I'm gonna go on top. Because we want the least amount of the product on top of these areas. And don't forget that you can even shop the foundation brush here in the cell. That is so satisfying to watch blend. So pretty. I think this blush is going to be perfect. These are new from Nars. I have not tried them. Here we go. I don't know what's going to happen here. You know, by now I understand these formulas, and I know that this is going to be very pigmented. I also know that I don't have powder here, and I also know by looking at it that it wasn't going to patch up my makeup. That being said, there's a big hair here. That being said, I want y'all to not go in the way that I just did. It could be way too much. By now, I have just tried so many different formulas of makeup that I know exactly the wand I'm looking at. I know that formula I'm looking at. I just know. I've been doing it a long time, and I really pay attention. So what I'm trying to say is, if you have a new product, try it in different ways first. Don't go directly on your face. So I'm gonna hop off and just film this concealer, that it's how beautifully it blends, how it's my favorite. I'm gonna film a video on that. I thought that it needed kind of an announcement because it has truly become the concealer that I reach for. It. Everything about it. It's so thin. It's so pigmented. There's so many different shades. It's just wonderful. It's a 10 out of 10. So I'll be right back. Now let's grab a fluffier brush. We're going to grab the Anna Rush brush. And the reason we're going to grab this brush instead of any other brush is because it's fluffy. And we don't want a whole lot of coverage for what we're about to do. So there's still going to be foundation here. I can kind of pull that where I want it, around there. But now, what I want to do is I want to take it and clean up across here. Just kind of melt it in a little bit, but we want the smallest amount of foundation to do this. So the fluffier the brush, the lighter the coverage. A dense brush would cover up this shadow and then it would kind of just hide everything. So we wanted that fluffy brush for just a tiny, tiny amount of coverage just to clean up and melt the foundation with the base and then clean up any shadow that might be causing shadows through here. Okay, I'm back. So we have on the Natasha Denona. I did the Givenchy powder underneath my eyes only because y'all wanted to see this powder with the Givenchy. So all I have is the Givenchy 03 underneath my eyes. Plus, I know most of you have it, so I thought I would show you how I would use this if you already have that. I would have just set my under eye with this though. Again, this is very shiny, but I figured we would just do this to talk about it because it's been requested. So I layered it up just a little bit more. I'm talking a little pin amount. This is beautiful and it's so glowy and I feel like it's gonna be so pretty with the Makeup Forever powder. I don't know if you'll notice, but this is a prototype. Y'all wanna know how old this brush is? 3 years old. This is a 3-year-old prototype. Oh my God, I think this is one of my first ones. Do y'all see that? Where's the fraying? Where's the frazzling? It's nowhere. That's right. My little baby C41. So if you aren't sure, I know a lot of you think that this might be wasteful, but it won't, I promise. Okay, let's move that powder around. Let's just put a dot here. We might actually need more than that because I'm pretty familiar with the formula already. So if you don't want to dot it and you're a little afraid, you could always just grab it on your finger and just smooth it out first, okay? Just smooth, like I talk about with our foundation. By the way, that's all that's left. We'll probably still grab it. C41, melt that in. Love the formula. It's beautiful. I like these a lot. So I'm showing you this in case I'm gonna grab what's left. In case you're thinking, well, what do I do with that wand? It can be scary. Just put it on the back of your hand first and smooth it out. Stunning. I love the color too. It's a color I wouldn't think I would love. Now I'm gonna grab that E27 that we used with the black eyeshadow. Remember that? There's still gonna be a little bit of black eyeshadow in here. Just smudge that underneath here. Pretty. So spicy. Jean, nobody wants to hear you take a bath. He just insists on coming in here and taking a bath. It's like his little bathroom in here. Since I have this on now, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of complete this. Fun. I think that this lip from Stila is gonna be perfect, but I'm gonna add something in the center, okay? So, I'm not even gonna do lip liner. I'm just gonna draw my lip line with this. I might need my C30. Also, don't do what I just did. Work in sections. But I've gotten pretty quick with my lips because I did so many. Remember when I was doing all the glitter lipsticks? I've gotten really fast. Okay, I'm gonna grab my C30. Now I'm gonna grab some powder foundation and the C30, and I'm just gonna clean this out around the lip line. You just wanna make sure that your lip, I was gonna say, you just need to make sure that your powder foundation does match your skin tone perfectly so you don't have a white line. Precision. Now let's grab our Makeup Forever powder. Remember, we like to just get a little bit out, and then I put the lid back on. Shake it together. Now I'm gonna grab my puff. I do like to even it out. And then I'm just gonna set here. Ooh, that is so pretty, oh my goodness. Just bring a little bit more life. I actually wanna add a little bit underneath my eyes. I feel like in the summertime, I like that glowier under eye. So if you already have the Givenchy, set with it. And then if you have purchased this, I'm not telling you need this, but if you happen to have both now, just go on top very lightly. It sets, but it gives glow. I love it. And just for fun, I'm gonna grab this shade. It's called Jump. And it's a more orange, and it'll kind of bring everything back. Because the pink alone will kind of turn it a little purple, but now look. It's going to match the eye perfectly. Look at this. Fun! Then I'm gonna put a little bit of this in the center, and by a little bit, I mean a lot. This is from Milk, and these are lip safe and eye safe. Some colors aren't, but it does state that. But this one is my favorite, and it is. Isn't this pretty? Look, I already have it over here. It's a very soft pink glow, and it's as intense as you want it to be. It's so pretty. And then I'll just take my foundation brush and just kind of melt that in a little, just around the edges. Easy peasy. The lips. So I added a whisper of MAC clear gloss, just some clear gloss on top. Any clear gloss will do. And now the lip matches that eye perfectly. Woo, that's fun. All right, y'all, there's Feral Monday. I am going to go post. It's gonna be about the C42. I'm so proud of the brushes. They're so much fun. They make makeup, at least for me, they make makeup even more exciting. All right, we tried out some good stuff today. I think we're really gonna like those Nars blushes. Let me try them a couple more times. I wanna try this color tomorrow. This color is called Wanderlust. Ooh, we'll try that tomorrow. All right, I love y'all so much. I love you with all of my heart. And I'm excited for the week. We have a lot of new stuff that we're gonna be trying. Ooh, and this too, look where I went. We got some more new stuff to try. I'm excited for the week. I love you with all of my heart, and I'll see you in the comments tonight.